Okay,
Could be a jamming call because we had lots of people come into the community from this week's challenge.
awesome. I hope it is. And we are live.
Have you set a goal for when we break?
A certain number.
Yeah.
I'll throw confetti when we reach 50 people.
No, I meant the community.
No, not no, I haven't had those conversations. Are you ready for me to let them in, or you want me to wait one more minute?
Who's in the waiting room? The gang's all here. Sure, let him in. You're in charge. I cede all my power to you.
Good morning, everyone. Hello.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
Always great to see everybody. Thank you for being here. This is the Friday Chief AI Officer catch-up call, AMA, Ask Me Anything call, Q&A call. Uh, Lots to talk about today. News did not slow down this week, so I'm going to get you caught up and distill out some of the important things, get us focused. Just wait maybe a minute, get everybody caught up here and logged in. I want to welcome you all to the call. Thank you for taking a slice of your time out of your Friday. Time is one of the most valuable things we have. Time and money. That's it. So we really, really appreciate you taking a slice of your time with us today. It's one of the biggest investments you can make, is sharing a slice of your time with somebody. So I'm deeply aware of it and understand it and appreciate it. So welcome to everybody who's on the call in Zoom live with us. I also want to welcome everybody who is joining the call on any of our streaming platforms that we are broadcasting to today. So this is the Friday Chief AI Officer call. We are making this call available to the worldwide audience along with our Monday tool call. So we have calls all through the week. Continuing education is a big, big factor for us because AI information technology news updates is just changing so fast. So we are committed to providing continuing education to everyone in our community, everyone who's gone through our certification program. It's how you keep your blade edge sharp and up to speed with what's going on in the world. So the Friday call and the Monday call are open to the public. We share these calls because we want to invite people to join our AI Insider community or participate in our certification program. So if you are on one of those platforms, you're not on Zoom with us, but you'd like to join us on and check out the AI Insider program, please go to chiefaiofficer.com/learn-more. So again, it's chiefaiofficer.com/learn-more. And again, welcome to everybody who's joining us from the challenge this week. We have a new cadence for our weekly challenges, which are now weekly. So that's redundant, but apologies. So we now have the challenge going on every week. And I want to welcome everybody who has decided to check out and join our community as a result of the challenge. So this is the Chief AI Officer Friday call. My name is Lee Pomerantz. I am the Chief Marketing Officer here. I am also a certified Chief AI Officer. The agenda for today's call is really pretty simple. We're going to talk about what happened in the community. Megan is going to get us up to date on activities that happened in our community. I'm going to share with you some curated news items that I think are really important for us to be aware of. So we'll talk about what happened in the AI community world at large. And then the most important part of this call is Q&A. So if you have questions, if you have uh, something you're working on or something you saw or read or heard, questions about anything related to what we're doing in our community, this is the place to be. So Q&A is a big part of this call. There's not a particular Q&A section. It kind of rolls along through the call. So while I'm talking and doing things, if you have a question on something, please raise your hand and we'll get you on screen and answer your question. Or you can just come off mic and say, "Hey Lee, I got a question." So I'm from New York. I've got pretty thick skin. I won't be offended by that. And we is and we are just gonna be here to answer questions and do what we got to do. So to top off the call, I'm going to invite Megan, our community manager. If you've been part of our community, you see Megan across the calls, and she's behind the scenes doing all kinds of great things in support of our amazing community. So Megan, I'm going to give you the floor and ask you to please get us up to speed on what happened in our little community this week.
Absolutely. Good morning, everyone. Welcome, welcome. I love seeing you guys on Friday, and I see many throughout the week in all of our classes. So thank you for attending those. And I know that I always learn something new. So I hope that you're absorbing new information as you attend as well. Before I get into the community space, I want to welcome our new students, Irina, Crane, Carol, Kimberly, Jonetta, Anna, and Alexandre. Welcome to the community for one, but also your certification process. So if you have any questions as you move through the course and you move to getting certified and eventually to your capstone project, please feel free to message me in Circle. I'm happy to support you or answer any questions that you may have, or if there's some kind of resource that you need to find, I will assist you in getting whatever it is that you need so that you can get certified as soon as your time, attention, and energy will allow. Everybody moves at different speeds through the certification process. So I think the most important thing is that if you do start feeling stagnant or you start feeling stuck, that you reach out for help to myself, to Lee. Coach Jen is also here on the call. You can send any of us messages and we'll support you with whatever it is that you need to get moving there. So don't stay stuck in your head too long. Don't feel like you have to stay paused for too long, because that's really where the speed bumps come in and you making progress with the certification course. And then I saw that Zach is here on the call. I want to congratulate him for graduating. He has his certification. He has completed his capstone. I didn't check to see if it was in the capstone area, but I know he was going to be posting that soon. So congratulations, Zach, on moving through that process. I do hope that you'll pop on at some point and share later if you're in the space where you can. Just about your experience. And if you want to highlight your capstone project, you're more than welcome to do that. So thank you to all of our new students, and congratulations to Zach on completing your certification. That is fabulous. First, I want to pop over to this VIP video vault. Lee will go more in depth on what our calls were this week. But I just want you to know, in case you didn't, that we do have this area. All of our calls are recorded. So if you can't attend live, you can always come to this space. They're usually posted by the next morning after the call, and you can get a summary of what went on in that call along with notes and timestamps. So if you don't want to watch the whole thing, you can move to the part that's important to you. And then at the bottom, the things that were discussed in the call are always linked as well. So there's a lot of value in each of these. And you can also navigate the calls by these filters up here. So on Monday, we do an AI tool call where we review a smart cut and give you a little bit of a demonstration so you can filter with that tag. On Tuesdays, Segovia gets into prompting. Those are always super valuable. You'll also see a lot of community wins on that call. There's a lot of discussion and also questions and support that's given for how we can make the community better, what people's experience are that they're having. And the second half of the call is a demonstration as well. On Wednesdays, Wayne gets into consulting. And this month in February, he's teaching you how to build your website, how to create your brand, your message to market, so that as you're going through the certification process, you can already begin to think about marketing yourself and having those conversations with clients so that you can make sales. You don't have to wait until your certification is complete before you begin marketing yourself and talking to potential clients. On Thursdays, Chris Lannon gets into workflows. This is one of our more advanced classes, but I definitely recommend hopping in, seeing what's available to you, learning how workflows apply to you. He's been diving into creating agents a lot lately as well. Um, and then right now we're on our CAIO live call, and the one that I missed is our AI governance call. So this is another high level call, but it's also super important. So as clients onboard you and you're making recommendations for what AI softwares to use, what tools to use, you're thinking of the ethics and governance that goes into what you're recommending to them. And also that you have some sort of knowledge or education on how to inform them when they have questions about AI governance or ethics. So this is on Monday nights at 6 p.m. Eastern. But you can also catch all of the recordings for this call here as well. So that I just want you to know the library's there. Don't feel like if you miss a call that it's lost information. You can always access it in the VIP video vault over here under AI Insiders. And lastly, I'm going to hop over to the leaderboard. Let's see. I think Wayne was in first place last week too. So we have Wayne Clayton in first place. Steve Furman moved on up this week. That's impressive, Steve, because I know that you were traveling this week and you still managed to get into spot number 2.
3 days, man.
Chris Duffy moved up to number 3. Congratulations. Karan is in number 4 and Sherry is in number 5. So thank you guys. And then Zach, I see you there, number 6 too, inching your way up. This leaderboard we look at every Friday. It's an accumulation of activity inside of the community. So if you've liked post, commented on post, created post, you gather points. And so this community would absolutely not be what it is without you guys. It requires everybody's contribution and it requires everybody's knowledge. You know, we have a lot of questions coming from community members and there's no one person that has all of the answers. So if you are in the questions and feedback chat over here, please feel free. If somebody asks a question or shares something and you have information about that, leave a comment, support them, share your knowledge. It requires a village, all of us, to support each other and move in the direction of what we want to accomplish as chief AI officers and just being knowledgeable in the AI world. And then I'll just finish this off and hand it back over to Lee by saying that if you are new here, that there's a common conversation that happens in every single class and amongst the fellows here as well. And if you are in self-doubt about what you think you don't know about AI, if you're in this community, I guarantee you that you know more than what the general population knows. So don't get stuck in your head thinking that you have to have all the answers or you have to have it all figured out, because you don't. You can be transparent and say, let me look into that and I'll get back to you. But don't let what you think you don't know stop you from getting out there and talking with companies and talking to clients, because you never know what connections you're going to make. You never know who's going to hire you. And your knowledge bank around AI softwares, implementation, tools, how you can use this to scale, improve, compress time inside of other people's businesses or lives, you know more than what you think you do, you know? So get out there, have conversations. It's okay not to know everything. That's what this community is for. You can always come back here and ask questions and get support and show up in classes. We are here for you. And we know that you are also here for us in the community space. So thank you. Yes, Steve, I see your hand raised.
I just want to add one more comment to that. And I've been probably the worst at this. Don't be afraid to ask for money. Don't feel like you have to just like give people information and give them help. At some point, we all have to eat. So don't be afraid to ask for money and ask for what you deserve. You should get paid what you're worth. People will pay the value they perceive. So if you show them the value of what they're going to get, they'll pay whatever your fee is.
Yep. I love that. You got money on the mind this week, Steve. I like it.
Excellent. Megan, thank you. Is that everything, Megan?
Yes, that's all.
Sweet. Thank you so much. And just on follow up on Megan's point, if you have a question, please ask it because chances are somebody else on the call or in the group has that question as well. So we all don't know what we don't know. And if you put something out there as a question or something that you're wrestling with, it's gonna probably in a good way trigger somebody else and go, oh yeah, I was thinking about that too, or oh yeah, I hit that roadblock last week. So don't be afraid to ask a question. There are no stupid questions. Um, the only thing is just you got to get it out of your head and bring it to the table and share it. So that's the main thing. Zach, I am going to take you up on your offer to briefly come off camera and say hi. I know that we did the rounds of, get to know everybody a little bit on the call last night, and I'm going to talk about that. But if you want to share a little bit, your experience going through the certification program and talk a little bit about what your capstone is, so that we can all go check it out. The floor is yours. Congratulations. I know what it's like to go through the program, and we're thrilled to have you as a graduate and part of the certified member club. So kudos, well done, man.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lee. Great to see everybody on the call today. Happy Friday. I know it's weird. Ever since I started Bodhi AI back in November, uh, I don't look at Fridays the same way anymore. Fridays used to be like a day of relief, a day of, oh, all right, the weekend's here. And now it's like Friday's like, holy crap, there was so much more that I wanted to get done this week. And now I'm up against a weekend. Which is a good problem to have, I think, when you are able to align your dreams with your career. And that's I think one of the most powerful things that I've gotten out of this Chief AI Officer program is I've been waiting in the wings to kind of do my own thing for over a decade now, and I finally got the confidence to do that through the tools, the resources, the guidance of the Chief AI Officer program. Um, my father's an entrepreneur. He started his own business. My brother's an entrepreneur. He started his own business. And so now I finally got my sea legs, so to speak, and uh, I'm just getting up and doing it, as Steve would say. And when it comes to the courses, when it comes to the resources, what I found really useful was the community chat as well as like the course material itself, of course. As you go into the program, you're gonna have this sense of maybe imposter syndrome. I know I did. But as you go along, I think you'll find a lot of value in just the daily tidbits that come out of attending the calls on a weekly basis. So like there's a tremendous amount of knowledge being shared on these calls. I subscribe to everyone on Monday through Friday. And even if you can't make the whole thing, or even if you're catching the recaps on the back end, like just jump in and attend, because there's going to be elements that just add to that confidence and give you that ability to be comfortable with all these tools and resources coming your way. Um, and then don't forget that like you have the world's most intelligent resource at your fingertips on a daily basis. Use ChatGPT or Claude or whatever model you want to use, but use a frontier model and chip away at learning and crafting your way of understanding. I think that's super helpful as well. When it comes to the capstone project, that was something that I just serendipitously happened to have an actual like real life scenario to tackle with all of these tools and resources, and it all came together really seamlessly. So in regards to my capstone, just at a quick high level, I have a client that does cryptocurrency training, and they were launching a brand new elite level training program for high net worth individuals to sign up. They didn't want just anybody getting accepted into this program, and so they needed to vet their customers. So I created a landing page to kind of pre-qualify folks and let them know what we were looking for. I then I used bolt.new to create that landing page. I did it in about 5 minutes, which was amazing. Um, when it comes to then kind of working the clients through a pipeline, I created a screening chatbot in HubSpot that asked a series of like 25 questions of the folks to really make sure that they were aligned to the customer's preferences. I created some automations in HubSpot to make sure that the right people got scheduled for a screening conversation with the client. And all of it was automated. I've now gotten a chance to actually check in with some of these folks that have gone through the whole process. And one of the guys that I talked to said that it was so easy and so seamless that he thought it was like too good to be true, and that he wasn't sure if he actually qualified. Um, but I also saw a guy that got rejected. He was like, uh, he was sharing like, there could be, you could just put the McDonald's hat on on the logo and let me know that I need to keep working because I'm not a high enough roller to join this club yet. And so there's like this element of fun to it that I think people got out of it. So it was really great to just be able to take all the tools, the knowledge and resources that I've been learning over the course of, let's see, I think I started the chief AI officer stuff in December. And so we're talking about a guy who I've never done coding. I've built like basic websites using Squarespace in the past, but it's very tedious and manual labor. Now, there was a seamless customer flow. There was a great customer experience, even for the folks that got rejected. It's all stuff that I just didn't think would be possible. And one last little note that I'll add in, Lee, and then I'll turn it back to you, was about 10 years ago, I wrote a blog called Machines Learning. And in the blog, I calculated out how long it would take a supercomputer to reach human level intelligence. This was like back of the napkin calculations with the world's fastest supercomputers at the time. I was super passionate about it. And the only thing that I really walked away from that writing experience is that I need to work for a company that's in AI so that I can hitch my way into them and not get left behind. What I realized now is that we can all be a part of that wagon experience on the journey to using AI in our everyday work. You don't necessarily have to go work for an AI company to do that. And in fact, you could even do it yourself with these tools, these resources. It's just that taking that time to dig in, do the work, learn what you need to know, and then start carving out your niche from there. It's been an amazing experience getting a chance to connect with all these folks, and I'm really excited now for the back half. And hopefully, Lee, you can answer my question about those affiliate programs that I sent you, because I want to make sure that
I saw that
I'm
question. I'll get you.
maximizing the amount of new chief AI officers we have coming into the program as well. I've seen some tremendous buzz on social media for folks that are excited about learning more. I got a call scheduled with a guy after my announcement about completing the capstone. I've also got a featured article in Forbes coming up next week as well. So, it's things like this. You just got to get the ball rolling, keep things going, and take it from there. Anything else that you had questions about or that I didn't touch on, Lee?
No, you're good. Your video froze, but your audio's here. So no, I really appreciate you sharing. And again, welcome. Zach's somebody who took massive action. He got in the program in December, and now here we are just, inches into the month of February, and he's gone through the program and he's got his certification done and he's got his capstone done. So it's definitely doable in a very reasonable time frame. We have people that have done it in a shorter time frame, but this isn't something that you need to drag out for a long, long time. And again, because things are moving so fast in the world of AI, get it done, and the sooner you get it done and get plugged in, then you can be that subject matter expert that's out there in the world. So yes, thanks, Zach. Appreciate you coming off camera. And congratulations again. Zach did mention our affiliate program, which is usually something I touch on my Friday agenda here. So we do have an affiliate program. It's a great way for you to share your excitement and passion about what's going on in the world of AI with people that people that are going to lean in and say to you, "Oh, that's interesting, Zach. Tell me more." And it's a way for you to get financially compensated for sharing in that revenue. So Megan just popped the link in chat. Thank you, Megan. You can go to the affiliate page. You do not need to be So for people listening on our stream, you do not need to be in the Chief AI Officer certification program. You do not need to be in our AI Insider community, although we wish you would be, to be part of our affiliate program. So you can just go to the affiliate link that's at the footer of our chiefaiofficer.com homepage, and you can sign up and you can share with people the passion and excitement that you've got and are experiencing in this program with them. And if they sign up for the certification program, then you get to participate in that revenue. So nice segue. Appreciate the setup. Boom, knocked it out of the park. Thank you, Zach. All right, so we also have challenges that are going on. I mentioned that we have people joining us on this call from our recent challenge, so welcome everybody. We are doing a weekly cadence. So from until further notice, we will be having our challenge every week on Tuesday and Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you've gone through the challenge before, we invite you to come back. We have many, many people who show up on the challenge on a regular basis. Yes, Sherry, I'm looking at you. And it's a great learning experience. It's a great way to keep up to date. It's a great way to reinforce what you're out there practicing and working on. So the challenge is at challenge.chiefaiofficer.com for those of you on the stream. It's free. That's a 2-day event. It's a really we are passionate about value in advance, about sharing education and knowledge, much more so. Yes, we need to do business. Yes, we need to sell certification programs, but the challenge is a great place to stay up to date and stay current on what's going on. We have a new presenter who is going to be doing the challenges going forward, a gentleman named Adam Lyons, who has joined us as our Chief Revenue Officer here, and he did the challenge this week and it was great, and he just brings a whole different vibe and energy to it. So if you haven't been on one in a while, come check out Adam. He's going to be doing them for us. And if you are new and haven't checked it out yet, I invite you again. It's challenge.chiefaiofficer.com, and get your affiliate link set up. And I'm going to segue right into, kind of coming off Zach's conversation. Ricky, appreciate you thinking about Adam like that. He's a little firecracker. Adam, Zach, I'm gonna follow up on what you had said. And let's just get into our wins of the week section of the call before I get into news. So we like to share in the community wins that we've had, things that we've learned, aha moments that we've had, uh, new clients that we're working with, and new things that we're doing for our clients that we're working with. So if you have a win for the week, I see hands popping up. Thank you for being eager. Steve, you beat everybody to the buzzer again. I think you've got Jeopardy practice going on here, my friend. So share a win. Tell us what's going on in your world. I know that you were out at an event, so share it.
It's more of necessity because I have to leave to go on an actual appointment. But yeah, I was actually with Chris Daigle at the Scaling Up Confab conference, and we gave a presentation on how to use AI, how to stack different models together to get a better output, to just all kinds of great stuff. But I also got to do my first book signing, which was really cool. So I actually had people that wanted me to sign their book. I mean, they were chasing me around. It was really weird, but it was
I
kind of
have
cool.
mine. I'm interrupting.
Yay!
I have mine.
I'll be more than happy to sign yours. I think I signed tips, so you can look at his signature, I guess, her husband. But that was a good win. I also got moved up in the list of doing a proposal for PPAC Bank. It's a 17 branch bank. I don't know how many they're a 103-year-old bank. And I got, because of ChatGPT and because of the research I did, and I used AI, I got to the second level now. I'm going to be meeting with the senior vice president of sales and marketing. So that was a really huge win to get to that next step. And there's probably 8 million things more, but that's enough because I got to go. But I'll stick around for a couple minutes.
All right.
Oh, score. I forgot it. I forgot to tell you, there's Terry. You reminded me, Terry. Thank you. I just got my email account at scorevolunteer.org. So I guess I am really officially gonna get sucked up with a lot of score help, which is all good.
Very, very cool. What was the name of the app again?
It's not an app. Score is
Oh,
a
Score. I'm
an
sorry. Okay, yes,
organization.
Score. Yes. So Score is a big thing that we talk about here. And it's a organization that provides mentorship and support to small business owners, and they are looking for people with AI domain expertise. So you can sign up to be a mentor or
An
there's two.
SME is a subject matter expert. That would be for the AI stuff. I'm still waiting to get approved on that. I signed up to be a mentor just to help people.
Okay.
I'm a coach anyway, so
There's two different paths there. So score.org, check it out. Steve, thanks for sharing. Glad you had fun on the road. Glad you got to spend some stage time with Chris. That looked like it was a great presentation. Terry, hi, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. I am good. This is just a little testimonial for those of you who think, oh my gosh, I've got to know everything before I can start doing even some one-on-one consulting. For those who don't know, I've got a day job, crazy busy. I sit on boards, crazy busy, and I really didn't want to do one-on-one consulting, one-on-one training and consulting. It just takes so much time and it's so draining. But I had done a workshop uh, last Thursday. And one of the women on there, this was also the surprising learning. She was a Microsoft engineer, has Copilot. Of course, we know with kind of wings training and stuff that Microsoft is very underserved in terms of training. So she wanted to book a one-on-one training with me. She asked, would I do 2 hours? Again, and I posted some of this in the thing previously. Um, we got on for 2 hours. She actually asked, could it extend to a third hour? So I did a 3 hour one-on-one training with her. Mind you, we started out doing a little bit of chat GPT, but she was working on doing a work project. So she really needed to do it in with the Copilot playground thing. I know nothing. I have used Copilot like once 6 months ago on when I downloaded it on my phone. No, nothing about Copilot. But because I knew enough of just how to walk her through prompting in getting the output she was trying to get and how to put things together, she got the most amazing value. And if you all don't realize this, she also is she's neurodivergent. She's on the spectrum, and she said there within Microsoft there's a neurodivergent community. She said, Terry, I am telling everybody in my community, in our community, about you because this was so helpful. So I just want you to know you don't have to know every single thing. That's back to the importance of like thinking in and thinking with AI to be able to talk someone through how to use, even if you don't know anything about the tool, just the thought process. And that's so valuable. Last thing, next Wednesday, I have a training with Coastal Bend Business Innovation Center. It's an organization that does training and resources for business owners. It's owned by Texas A&M University in Corpus Christi. This is the second training I've done for them in a year, a 90-minute training. They're paying $500. That's always good. I'm happy to have that. It's for business owners. They had originally opened up with 50 slots. That filled like that. They moved it to 60. That filled like that. They moved it up to 75. It is, I think they're about 73. And they're trying to decide if they want to cap it or go ahead and increase it to 85 people. So it's a live training, a face-to-face live training. So I'm excited about it. I'll keep y'all posted on how that went.
Excellent, Terry.
So
That is
Terry,
so
how
amazing.
much do you charge for that? I'm curious to what people are getting.
So that, and they had brought it up like when I first did a training last year. They were like, would $500? And again, at the time, I wasn't charging
That's
anything. So I was like, yes, take it.
that's about what
Um,
I thought, that
yes, sir.
because
So
I know
again,
a lot
90
of
minutes.
people that would pay that.
Yeah.
You know,
And
if I
and the
wanted to
goal
work a
is
little harder,
to,
I could probably make a boatload of money doing just that or doing little microservices for people that take an hour.
uh,
Um, just because people want, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, right?
Mhm.
They want somebody that's like, at this point, I feel I could grab any tool, and I don't care what it is that I've never touched before because of the background in this community have given me, and I could sit in on it and I could figure it out in very short order, which is what I'm doing with, I would consider myself right now an expert on Copilot in PowerPoint and Outlook. And not that, but I've found a whole shitload of bugs in both of those. I can't do this. Oh no, we can't do that. But I just thanks for that, because I was wondering if we could get away with doing what, just what you did for $400 to $500 an hour. And it appears it's so. Thanks.
Well, no, let me check this. Are you talking about the group training I'm doing
No,
next
this
week, or are you
the
talking about the training I
one-on-one.
had, the one-on-one? Okay, no,
Yeah.
so that one-on-one, my typical charge for that was at 250, because this woman came to a training. Long story short, she had reached out to me before. Oh, 250 was too rich for her blood. I ended up giving her a discounted price. For her, though, it was 125 an hour. But I told her, anyone else that she referred, that is not their price. That is your special price. Everybody else is above that. But it was a couple of hours on a Saturday, and I wasn't doing anything else. I would have been watching Netflix. So I'll take it, and I'll be able to get an amazing testimonial from a
Yep.
Microsoft engineer that I'm certainly going to be putting on my having her do a Google review and putting on my website.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm telling you, I'm
that's
doing
key.
an awful lot of coding, and I haven't been a coder in 20 years.
Mhm.
Now, I will confess that I was a pretty substantial software engineer at one time, 35 years ago, but that's a long time. And it's just amazing what you can put together doing these things. And I've even helped people that do this as a job. So I just, it's a question to
Yep,
figure out.
absolutely. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Um, Kim shared in the chat, 500 an hour for one-on-one is not unreasonable in the marketplace. So definitely get what your value is worth here. Terry, I'm going to pick up on your point that uh, you don't have to be an expert in a particular platform. You don't have to be a Copilot guru or a ChatGPT guru. The important thing is, as Terry said, and as we preach here, think in AI. How can AI help me with this task that I'm working on right now? And you're going to pick up the nearest tool, or you're going to pick up the tool that you're familiar with. But as Jonathan and Terry both said, you can sit down in front of it and kind of figure it out really pretty quick. The learning curve on any of these tools is not steep at all. But the process of thinking in AI and figuring out how to use AI to solve what you're working on right now, that's the process. And as you do those reps, as you keep doing that over and over and over during the course of your day, it sort of becomes automatic. And if somebody hands you a hammer, it's like, okay, I think I essentially know how to use this. uh similar analogy there. So Terry, thank you so much for sharing your wins all
You
the time with us.
You're
You are
welcome.
out
And the
there.
craziest and real quick, and the craziest thing was, in that 3 hour time, I talked maybe 30 minutes. The rest of it was her kind of going through and iterating herself and saying, "Well, Terry, what do you think I should do here?" And after she started picking up on how I was telling her to use it as, as a thought partner, then I said, like, think about it. What do you think you should put there? And it was more coaching. I wasn't talking much at all after she got the gist of it, the hang of it. So,
And that's another great thing about the tools that we're getting to play with. The instruction guide is built into the tool. Okay, you can go to any tool and say, "How can you help me?" I mean, at a very, very base level, you can say, "How can you help me? What do you do? How can you help me?" So, if you come across a custom GPT or you're playing with any other tool, and then you can also get the tools to write the prompts for you that you need. So I'm doing some analysis right now, on, some data analysis for the organization, and I'm not a data analyst, but I got ChatGPT to write me an amazing data analyst prompt that's going to tear apart some Excel spreadsheets and do data cleansing and then data aggregation and then column collaborate. I mean, it's doing all these things that I wouldn't have thought of, and it gave me the prompt. Here's this whole custom prompt that it generated for me, and I got that because I told it, here's what I need to do, write a prompt that I can give you that'll do this for me. And boom, it'll do that. So all the platforms will do that. All the platforms have the instruction manual built right in, and just ask it tell it what you want the output to be. Start with the end in mind, as Adam spoke about on the challenge. Start with the end in mind, and then you'll back into, how do I get those outputs? So Terry, always wonderful hearing what you're doing out there, taking massive action. I don't know how you do it. You've got so much going on in your world, but you do it, and you do it with a smile, and you bring amazing energy and passion to everything that you do, including our calls here. So thank you very, very much for that. Always happy to hear you share. Karan, good afternoon, my friend. How are you today? You're on mute, sir. Hit the button. There you go.
Sorry about that. So one thing I wanted to share to the team, and in the score, I started, in the, I'm in Princeton, New Jersey. There's a Princeton chapter where I became a mentor like 3 months before. They have a monthly meeting within the members that, what is going on. As you guys are aware of that, what, score.org, what they do, they are like helping the small business across US. I just want to give a quick 1 minute. They're helping the people to, for free, of course. They don't charge anything, helping the small business to, existing business to help them in any way, or also they help for the new businesses, startups, and so forth. So it's all mentoring and subject matter expert, all this. So I was helping one of the, once I got a members, as a certified mentor, I was helping few startup people. And last month, they have they asked me to, hey, since you are a certified CEO, why don't you give a quick rundown, or what is happening here because of new technologies and what. Yeah, those are all like a different area of field experts, like is finance, or that those are all the people they train or give the mentorship to the other people. So I was helping them in all the mentors. I was mentoring them in AI, like what is going on with the latest technologies. And that was like a 15 minutes. I was prepared for 30 minutes, like 15 minutes they gave. I gave them a 15 minutes round done with the most of the tools and so forth. And they asked me to come back again to like a Zoom call for an hour. So that's another one. And I said I can, and I gave them two different topics, that the next few topics to help them. Eventually, that's another thing. So based on the second one is like based on what from my LinkedIn, one recruiter called me that, hey, I wanted to, I found a company that we want to train for them in the Copilot. If we go to Microsoft, they're going to charge more. Can you help them to? They have almost 1,000 people in that company. Can you help them to do train them for Copilot? I said yes, and I'm talking to them directly, to the recruiter, to help putting together all the I have a different slabs for the course. This is a basic and silver, gold, all those things. If anybody wants to have, like, I can share to them like a curriculum for this and curriculum for this, and I'm working on that. So I just wanted to share these two things here with the team. So I took almost 5 minutes. Sorry. Thank you.
Ron, thank you so much. You're always generous in our community, and that showed with what you shared today. So thank you for that. And it's great to see that people are out there doing it, engaging, making it happen. Yeah, just get out there and do it. So we are a sharing community here, as everybody has seen on the call. All right, any other wins this week before I dive into the news? Anybody have any questions, concerns, anything they want to share? Um, things like that going on. All right, thank you all for sharing with us today. It's good to see the wins. It's uplifting for the community as we all get that energy and get that excitement and vibe from what everyone else is doing. So I'm going to jump over into a screen share here and everybody see my screen. That's good. Get back to my notes here. All right, so let me catch up on my agenda here. All right, so what's happening in the world, in the news world? So part of the reason, one of the big reasons for this call is that there is so much happening in the world of AI. It's literally drinking from a fire hose. So what we do, what I try to do is curate some of the top things that are happening out there in the world of AI, and bring those, 3 to 5 hot topics, generally not talking about tools and tool releases, but more along the lines of what's the significance of this and why is it happening. So we all are still reverberating from the DeepSeek. So DeepSeek's emergence was with their disruptive AI models sparked a seismic shift in the technology sector, highlighting the rapid advancements in AI capabilities and igniting a reevaluation of investments and strategies inside Silicon Valley. So this is really still reverberating around. NVIDIA's stock plummeted 17%, equating to a $600 billion loss in market value. Touched on that a little bit last week. DeepSeek claims its V3 and R1 models rival leading models like ChatGPT 4o, but at a fraction of the cost. And there's some misleading information. They said, that they built this whole thing for $6 million. And that's actually kind of misleading because that's not what we're thinking now is that's the cost of the training run. Okay. So they still had a huge investment of money that went into, the chips and the technology and the platform and the energy and everything else to run it. So there was a overreaction, some people are saying in the market because of the way DeepSeek announced this and announced what their investment was on doing this. Andrew Ning, who's leading voice in AI, says China's advancements in generative AI and the growing importance of open weight models are key to pay attention to. OpenAI Sam Altman, CEO, acknowledged a need to adapt to the evolving technology landscape, favoring open source models, which is a very different position than he's had previously on that. Concerns have arisen over data security and potential misuses of OpenAI's models by DeepSeek. So there's been some analysis that seems to indicate that DeepSeek was trained on ChatGPT 4o. And then on the data security side of it, I shared last week that there was a cybersecurity company that looked into the DeepSeek code and uncovered a database that had over 1 million lines of unprotected data and information that was just readily available for anybody who knew how to get to it. So there's definitely security concerns regarding DeepSeek. There's also concerns about it being a product from China. Some companies are taking DeepSeek and they are spinning that up and running it here on US servers. That is the model that Perplexity is doing. So Perplexity is now offering DeepSeek as one of the models it uses, but it's also telling everybody that it is on servers that are based here in the US. So there are investigations, government and technology companies, I think Facebook said they've set up 4 war rooms to look into this and react to it. So this lit a fire under everybody, and it underscores how easily it is to shift and how quickly things can shift, where things get prioritized in terms of AI development and releases, and potentially the acceleration of AI innovation. It's interesting that DeepSeek happened even with the U.S. embargo of NVIDIA chips and technology and everything else. Some people are thinking now that maybe because we constrained China's access to these tools and technologies, that it forced them into a corner where they learned to innovate faster or in a different way. So DeepSeek is still rattling out through the universe here. Show of hands, has anybody really played with DeepSeek and had positive experiences, negative experiences? Meh. No. Okay. So I haven't really played with it.
Security hat on and say, don't,
Yeah,
don't, don't.
I
I
agree.
know
Unless
people
it's
in the intelligence community that have found multiple Trojan horses built in there that immediately attempt to break into your network horizontally in every direction. Just don't. It is an intelligence gathering tool for the Chinese Communist Party in the eyes of the intelligence community.
Spoken by somebody who has all kinds of letters after his name because of all the certifications he has. So when Jonathan talks about cybersecurity, ears wide open. We have one of an expert in the field here. So that's not just from reading articles, that's from his experience, distilling what he's reading in threads and coming up to a conclusion that he's sharing with us. So if Jonathan says don't, I'm not going to. All right.
Or do, but you know the risk.
Yes. Agreed. So be careful. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm never putting anything highly confidential in any of my worlds into a model. I'm always going to be anonymizing data. I'm always going to be taking out names and references and everything else that goes along with that. All right.
If I could just comment on that, though, Lee, and that's a great practice, so keep it up. With DeepSeek, you should expect that anything you put in there will be fed and re-engineered to the Chinese intelligence community. Now, whether your stuff is valuable enough for them to spend any resources on is in question, but if you can anonymize your data and they could re-engineer it backwards because they do it all the time. It's one of their core competencies.
Yep.
So if you're going to get in that game, I would say just do so at your own risk.
Appreciate it. Yep. We know that China is well known for reverse engineering, whether it's sneakers or intellectual property or just about anything. They are masters at that. So yes, I can imagine how quickly and easily they could take the pieces that you ran through the shredder and duct tape them back together. All right, so OpenAI O3 Mini could disrupt knowledge work. So this is much in response to, this was an accelerated release. So OpenAI's release of O3 Mini and deep research has the potential to significantly disrupt knowledge work by enhancing AI capabilities in science, coding, and autonomous research tasks, challenging existing market assumptions and accelerating the timeline of AI integration into various industries. Now, interestingly, Google Gemini also has a deep research mode that it can operate in. So I'm guessing that OpenAI couldn't come up with a better term, or that's as descriptive as it gets. So if you are talking with somebody about a model and they use the word, yeah, I'm using its deep research function, check to see if they're using that in the context of OpenAI or if they're using that in the context of Google Gemini, because they both have a thing now called deep research. So A little bit on O3 Mini. So it's introduced, it's a new reasoning model targeting STEM tasks such as science, coding, and math. And it's reportedly operating faster and more efficiently than previous models. Deep Research is a new feature turning ChatGPT into an autonomous research agent capable of complex analysis and understanding aimed at high-level research tasks. Both updates address concerns raised by DeepSeek. So this is the open weight model that we were just talking about, and this is definitely OpenAI's response and quick response. So O3 Mini offers advanced speed, up to 24% faster response time compared to older models. And it's available right now to both free and pro GPT users with more advanced variants available and features available on the pro level. Deep Research operates by analyzing queries and documents autonomously, providing exhaustive findings and source tracking. Initially available to ChatGPT Pro users, the features promise to extend to team and enterprise plans, supporting text, images, and PDF sources initially, with plans to expand its output capabilities. So these models come out, and then as they're out, they become more multimodal in terms of being able to deal with audio, video, text, images, all that kind of stuff. The impact of these technologies was demonstrated through humanity's last exam benchmark test, which showcased superior performance. So that's one of the AI tests that the models all use, the frontier model labs all use for benchmarking these things. The discussions highlight the potential for these technologies to replace substantial portions of knowledge work, affecting roles heavily reliant on text and data analysis. A broad interest from investors supports funding startups aimed at creating AI agents around this technology. So I have played with Deep Research in Gemini, and it's kind of cool. It will basically frame out, you give it a task and it'll frame out a whole research and analysis project that it's going to do, and it'll show you all the steps. These are all the things I'm going to go out and do. And it can be, 10, 12, 15 steps. Please approve this, and I'm going to go off and do it. And then you hit OK, and then you can just sit there and watch it. And I've run projects with Deep Research where it's gone out and accessed data from up to 100 websites. And just think about the time that it would take you to do a Google search and then, go hoover up that information across 100 websites. And these tools are now just doing it in a matter of minutes. This isn't stuff that's happening in seconds. I've had searches and analysis, that run for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It's out there working and grinding through this stuff. So I'm anxious to look forward to play with OpenAI's version of Deep Research. I've had good results using Gemini with it. And if you have a project or task that needs that kind of deep analysis and deep research, definitely check out these tools. All right. I mentioned in a previous, I'm not doing a very good job here. So let me just go back here. I didn't throw this in the chat. Okay, so I'm not following my own directions here. So that is on the O3 model, and this is on DeepSeek. Sorry, I didn't share those with you. All right, so now I'm getting caught up here, and now we will talk about the U.S. Copyright Office, and here's the link for that. So I mentioned the U.S. Copyright Office in a previous call a couple of weeks ago, where they have come out with some guidance of what they're going to be doing moving forward. And now we have actually some official announcements, and this is landmark guidance. So please pay attention to this. This is very important. So the U.S. Copyright Office's new guidelines clarify that human creativity remains crucial for copyright protection when using AI-generated content, emphasizing the necessity of substantial human involvement in the creation process. So the U.S. Copyright Office has released a report titled Copyright and Artificial Intelligence, Part 2, Copyrightability. So this is part 2 of what I talked about in part 1 previously. The report follows extensive consultations involving 10,000 commenters from all 50 states and 67 countries. The key focus is how copyright law applies to content produced in part by AI. The office states that existing copyright laws are sufficient for now, with human creativity as the cornerstone of copyright protection. AI can assist human creativity, but cannot replace it for copyright purposes. Using AI tools just to generate content, example, prompts, without substantial human modification may not qualify for copyright. I'll say that again. Using AI tools just to generate content without substantial human modification may not qualify for copyright. Businesses using AI for content creation should consult legal experts to ensure compliance with copyright law. It's important for companies to determine the extent of human input in the AI-generated works to qualify for copyright. The guidelines might evolve as AI capabilities advance, but the emphasis on human creativity is expected to continue. Stakeholders should also assess how their AI-generated content reflects human creativity and transform it as needed. So appreciate Jonathan. We are top of the hour, so if anybody needs to jump, I've got a few more news items to cover, and then go over some highlights of the calls from this week. So if you can stay, that's great. We're going to keep on going. And if you need to jump out, have a great weekend and be sure to catch the recording for the part of this call that you missed. So this is we've been waiting 2 years for guidance from the U.S. Copyright Office on exactly what is copyrightable. There's a lot of soft words in here. Substantial human modification, what qualifies as substantial. So there's no specific percentages applied. So this is a first draft. They initially came out and said, no, if it's generated by AI, it's not copyrightable, whether it's content, whether it's images, or anything else. Now the Copyright Office is giving some more guidance and clarification by saying, yes, it is copyrightable as long as it has substantial human involvement. So we have some guidance now. It's a little soft and gushy in my mind, but at least there is guidance there, which is important because we're all doing work for our clients. And in a work for hire concept, if you own a digital marketing agency and you're using AI to generate content for your clients, up until this ruling or this announcement, you really couldn't transfer ownership of that content to your clients, and you couldn't copyright it. The larger the organization size is, the more important this is, as they are typically bigger companies are more concerned about protection of intellectual property rights. So read this. The link is there for you to check it out. And this is going to be an evolving topic for sure. This is going to keep on changing for sure. All right, this one is fun. Ethan Malik is a leading voice in AI. He is a professor at Wharton School of Business. He has a blog called One Useful Thing, and he is trying to understand the implications of AI for work, education, and life. So follow him on LinkedIn or subscribe to his blog. This is one of the people and one of the voices that I pay attention to and listen to. He's extraordinarily insightful, no hype. He's an educator, he's a professor, and he has put out basically a guide to talk about which AI platforms you should be using and what contexts you should be using them in. So he's got a cute little chart here that talks about the different models. He has some features listed. He talks about what the superpower is for each one of these things. So it's something that we all recognize and wrestle with. I think ultimately there's going to be a generic AI interface where we're going to put in whatever the task is, and there's going to be, an operator in behind the scenes that's going to say, okay, this part of Lee's task needs to go to this model, and this part of Lee's task needs to go to this model, and it's going to send it out and then gather up all the information and bring it back and give me an answer. So we're not there right now yet, but we do still have to wrestle with which model do I use? Do I use OpenAI? Do I use Gemini? Do I use Meta? So Ethan's put out the second version of his guide here, and the guide helps users choose a general purpose AI, emphasizing current features over speculative future capabilities. Major options include Claude, Google Gemini, OpenAI, ChatGPT, and he goes through different strengths and cost considerations. Claude is highlighted for creativity and unique insights. Gemini is noted for strong reasoning capabilities and multimedia processing. The guide cautions that freer versions often lack features compared to the paid versions, so that's something to pay attention to. Multimodal capabilities, such as live mode, reasoning, web access, and image generation, are important features that vary across the model. So again, depending on what you're doing, is going to be what is going to guide you towards what you need. Real-time interaction, what he calls live mode, are primarily supported by ChatGPT, with others expected to enhance those features soon. So he talks about privacy, and those concerns as Jonathan just talked about on the call. So follow Ethan. He's a great guy. If you ever get a chance to see him speak live or see him speak on a podcast, he's fun to watch and very engaging. Subscribe to his blog, oneusefulthing.org, and he's a trusted source. So he's got his ear to the ground. He's been a leading voice in AI for years now, since all of this, kind of kicked off and got started. So he's one of my trusted sources. So that's why this is popping up on the call today. All right, and I'm going to close out the news with this article from McKinsey. Yep, this is McKinsey. So McKinsey is a large research organization. They're one of the top ones. I was working late last night putting this together for the call, and I read the word super agency. And as a digital marketing agency owner, my mind immediately went to, what's a super agency? Is that like a conglomeration of a bunch of marketing agencies, or what is it? So agency in this context, let's define what agency is, and we as humans all have agency in things in our lives. So agency is the ability to make choices and decisions and to feel in control of a situation or your life. It can also refer to the power to affect your future. So while most companies are investing in AI, there's a really interesting stat that popped out of here for me. Um, this is pretty amazing. This is McKinsey. They're talking about, they work with big enterprises. The long-term prospects of AI is great, but the short-term returns are unclear. Over the next 3 years, 92% of companies plan to increase their AI investments, but while nearly all companies are investing in AI, only 1% of leaders call their companies mature on the development spectrum, meaning that AI is fully integrated into workflows and drives substantial business outcome. So the key takeaways here, AI is, transformative, and business leaders are looking at it. There's some estimations of it being able to add almost 4.4 trillion in productivity growth to our gross domestic product. Despite high investment levels, only 1% of firms consider themselves to be AI mature. The major barrier to AI maturity is leadership, not employee readiness. I'll say that again. The major barrier to AI maturity is leadership, not AI not employee readiness. Employees are already incorporating it into their daily work, whether it's allowed by the organization or not. Breakthroughs in AI innovation include advanced intelligence, agentic AI, multimodality, things that we've all talked about. Trust, safety, and explainability remain top concerns for AI deployment in these organizations. Many employees are optimistic about AI, but they need additional training and support. Hint, Chief AI Officer Program. Millennials, often in management, are AI advocates ready to drive change. Leaders must act boldly, aligning organizational structure to accommodate AI's rapid evolution. Effective AI integration necessitates a balance between speed and safety, with employees trusting leaders to manage ethical AI risks. So that goes back to organizations having AI governance and use policies that are in place and enforced. Strategic AI investments show varied results, with significant opportunities identified in healthcare, tech, and the media sectors. Only 19% of executives report seeing more than a 5% revenue increase from AI. However, optimism is strong, and visionary leadership focusing on transformational initiatives is crucial for organizations to harness AI's full potential. So this is at the enterprise level. This is at the big corporate, those are the clients that McKinsey works with. I'm going to say as you go down in business size, as you get down into the mid-market and certainly in SMBs, there are more owner operators, there are more, entrepreneurs, people that own the business that are taking more initiative with AI and infusing it into their business more. So I think as you go down in business size, you see AI adoption going up, but this is a leading indicator of what's happening at the enterprise level. And again, what happens there trickles down into the smaller organizations. So this is a recent report. This just came out a couple of days ago, I think. I put the link to the report in the chat, and it speaks to opportunity for all of us in what we're doing, in learning how to be certified chief AI officers and going out into the marketplace. This report just spells one word, which is opportunity for all of us. All right. Any questions or concerns on anything that I have talked about on the calls so far before I dive into a recap on the calls that happened this week? No, we're all good. Let me move this out of the way so I can see all you guys. We're all good. All right. Appreciate everybody who has stayed, and I'm going to dive into the calls. So we have 5 calls, 6 calls. We have 6 calls during the week. The Monday tool call and the Friday call are open to the public. As I said, all of the calls are recorded. If you are a member of our AI Insider program, you get access to all of these recorded calls in addition to the live calls. If you would like to learn more about that, it's chiefaiofficer.com/learn-more. So quick summary here. This is to give you a summary of the call and see if it's something that, whoops, that's last week. See if it's something that you want to go back to. And okay, there we go. All right, so our Monday tool call was guest led by Tyrese, who's a member of our community, and you'll see her in all the calls around here. So she talked about the ideogram or ideogram. I'm not sure the pronunciation on that. So she shared with that, which is a cool platform. She focuses on automation, workflow optimization, and user interaction. Features include pre-built automations along with API integrations. She explored the different subscription models and service-based pricing that is available in this tool. She highlighted its security and compliance measures, meaning it's good stuff. And we're only going to bring you good stuff. We're only going to bring you information on tools that we've vetted that meet our tests for security and compliance and everything else like that. So if we're bringing something to you on one of our tool calls, it's something that we've gone through and are either using or have used and have vetted it and, given it a green light to bring to the community. Tyrese also talked about upcoming features to improve collaboration and third-party integrations. Ideogram's AI supports visual storytelling and branding through text to image generation. And the links for the topics that are covered on these calls are always in the call summary here. So ChatGPT and Ideogram. And then we have a smart cut. So smart cuts are part of the Chief AI Officer community. These are like AI infused SOPs, standard operating procedures. So Tyrese did share with us on the call the Ideogram Smart Cut that is available in the Smart Cut library. So thank you, Tyrese, for stepping in and sharing some of your knowledge and wisdom. I'm going to jump to the Monday afternoon call. This is AI governance in an era. I'm sorry, this is AI governance, understanding AI governance principles and challenges. This is led by one of our fellows, Christy Purdue. The topic for this week's call was AI governance in an era of geopolitical tensions. Certainly, what DeepSeek has done has rocked the geopolitical world in AI. So, Christy talked about the need for robust AI governance frameworks to manage complex geopolitical, ethical, and business challenges posed by emerging AI technologies, particularly in the context of major initiatives like the U.S. Stargate project, which is the $500 billion project for data structure and power infrastructure to power AI and knowledge work in our economy, and then with DeepSeek's AI announcement. So again, main topics include the U.S.-led Stargate project, which is a $500 billion initiative. There were key concerns Christy brought up about international collaboration, oversight, and accountability, because AI crosses borders, intellectual property crosses borders, as we talked about in copyright. So the U.S. copyright notice that came out, that applies in the U.S. Each country kind of has its own copyright laws and rules and its own trademark laws and rules. Some of them just follow what the U.S. does. Some of them have their own. So if you're working internationally or you have clients in the international market, be aware that, the rules and regulations here that apply to copyright and intellectual property, et cetera, may not necessarily apply to your client's location. So be aware of that. Christy talked about potential Chinese government access to data. Jonathan just brought that up. And she talked about the need for firms to establish policies and governance similar to those in banking. Banking is one of the most regulated and compliance defined industries that's out there. I would say banking and finance is at the top of that list, quickly followed by healthcare and the medical space. So she alluded to the need of looking at those models and emulating them. And then just the potential for market shifts influenced by AI advancements, which we see happening with DeepSeek. So it's a tennis match. We're going to volley one, we're going to lob one over the net, and they're going to lob one back over the net, and we'll see where the game goes. But it's definitely, the game is afoot, as my British friends would say. Tuesday is our prompting essentials call, led by our Chief Product Officer and Chief Operating Officer, Segovia Smith. On the call this week, it was the impacts of AI expertise, unlocking the powers of language models and custom GPTs. So Segovia focused on advanced techniques for effective prompting, using different AI language models, strategies for becoming an AI thought leader and transitioning into leadership roles. He talked about salary expectations for AI leadership roles in mid-market companies range from $200,000 to $300,000 per year. During the call, Segovia demonstrated creating custom GPTs to analyze LinkedIn profiles and suggest career path improvements. So if you were on the challenge, this is something that Adam did as well, where he built a custom GPT, put in an individual's profile, did an analysis on it, and had the custom GPT basically say, okay, if we were to AIify this person's job, role, position, whatever you want, if we were to add AI to the mix, what kind of increased earning potential could this person have? And it was pretty, we did it live on the call for a couple of random LinkedIn profiles, and it was pretty amazing. It was like, okay, this person doing this job right now is making this, but if they were to embrace AI and bring that value to the equation, their market value might be $20,000 a year more or $30,000 a year more. So significant numbers, and definitely something that we've talked about before. So Segovia talked about at the end, continuing to develop custom GPTs, refining your AI skills, and enhancing your professional narratives, your LinkedIn presentation. If you want to position yourself as a subject matter expert, or even a thought leader in the AI space. So always entertaining and always informative. I missed the call with Segovia on Wednesday, but I will definitely be jumping back to catch that. All right, so on Wednesday, we had our AI business blueprint. This is our consulting business blueprint, which is led by Wayne, one of our fellows. Wayne talked about establishing your brand and positioning yourself as a trusted AI guide. So he went over some topics concerning generating leads, providing training on ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot, and AI automation. He shared some recent success stories he had with an international company purchasing 200 Copilot training licenses, and those opportunities are just out there. This was a really fun call. I had to step out for another call, so I had this sort of on the screen, and I jumped back in at the end. But Wayne and Coach Jen had everybody, all the participants, introduce themselves and share their business and AI related work experience. So if you want to get to know your fellow students, if you want to get to know your fellow certified chief AI officers, this is an episode to catch. So I want to thank Coach Jen, Carissa, Wayne, Brian, Ren, Dawn, Alexandre, Bernadette, Aaron, Zach, Michael, Karan, Terry, Marilyn, Harpreet, Irvin, Coach Andy, and me, because I got to share at the end of the call when I jumped back in. I want to thank all those people for being open and sharing on this call. So if you want to see what people's journeys are, if you want to see how they got here, if you want to see where they're going. This is a great call. It went long. It went about 90 minutes instead of its usual 60 minutes, as I'm going to do probably here as well. But this was a great call just to get to meet and know some other people in the community and what their journeys are. So if you weren't on the call, I encourage you, go back, check it out, because what everybody was talking to, some elements of it are going to resonate with you, and your head's going to, go up and down and go, yep, that's me. I can identify with that for sure. And then last but not least, on our workflow and automation call, this is led by our fellow Chris Lannon. He did a deep dive into Relevance AI. That's the name of the company, Relevance AI. And they are a enterprise-focused platform for building AI agents and workflows. Chris played a recording of an interview call that he had with some of the leaders at Relevance AI. So if you want to dive in and learn a little bit more about the Relevance platform and how it could be a benefit to you and what you're doing, please catch up on the call with Chris. So that's it. We are all caught up. I appreciate you for staying long. If you are still here, hello for everybody that's still here. If you're catching us on the replay and catching the end of the call, appreciate you being here for the part of it that you were able to. And I want to see if there's any questions. Anybody has any other questions or comments or anything that came up today on the call or anything else? Nope. All right. I want to wish you all a wonderful weekend. I want to thank you again for your slice of time that you shared with us today. We value it very, very highly. And we will see you on the calls next week. The regular schedule picks up on Monday with our tool call in the early afternoon and our AI governance call in the early evening, and we're off to the races. So thank you so much. Karen, thank you so much for your kind words. We love having everybody here. This is what we do. This is what we get up in the morning for. So I hope that enthusiasm and passion comes across in what I talk about on the call. I'm jazzed about this. I'm excited about this. Yeah, it's all good. So have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you. Be well, be safe, and we'll see you on